with you coming back. I guess you got somewhat close to the Jacksonville Jaguars job, and in your return here, just your thoughts about that process and your eventual return to Tampa.
Well, I really don't have no thoughts about the process. I was the coordinator here, and I'm still the coordinator here, so that's really how I view it. I know it was a lot said, a lot put out there. Obviously, that didn't work out. I'm just happy to be here. Happy to be here with the group. Going into our 4th year together. Can't wait to get to work with these guys.
Coach, one of the Magic basketball players, Jonathan Isaac, has missed 2 years with an ACL. What's the plan B if Chris can't go right away? Come September.
I don't know Jonathan Isaac. I don't know. I don't know him.
Magic, but he's been out 2 years with a knee injury. If Chris can't go in September, what's plan B?
Next guy just got to be ready. Obviously, anytime you have the injury that he had so late in the season, that's always an opportunity. Obviously, we're talking about Chris, though. We are talking about Chris, got a unique body, a unique athlete, really, and able to do certain things that most people can't do. So we'll get there when we need to get there. Right now, we just want him to get as healthy as he can get, and we'll see. But we'll be ready to handle whatever. We'll be prepared for whatever come our way, September, October, whenever it is.
Byron, 3 offensive skill players in the draft, K-Dot and Rashad White, and then Keith. What have you seen out of those guys, and what gets you excited about bringing them in?
Yeah, guys that can help us, I believe. Exact guys that can help us, guys that we liked in the draft process. So we just going to put them in position. It's early for them, right? So coming in here, I tell people I expect rookies to know nothing. So I expect them to know nothing. We're going to start at day 1 football with all of them, so we don't miss a step. That's good for them, especially when they're rookies. And we're just going to try to prepare them as best we can. But we like what they bring to us from a skill set, all those guys, what they're able to do and how good they're able to do their job.
What specifically about each of those players really stands out to you?
Well, with Gadecki, he blocks. I love linemen that block people. It's simple to me. So it's simple. He does a great job of blocking his guy, staying connected, having the understanding and awareness of who he has. You see him get to the second level as easy as guys have gotten before. And, I mean, just with Cole, he blocks everybody. I mean, you see him, he's a mauler. He gets connected to guys, and guys don't get disconnected. So we really got a bunch of guys that do their job on tape. You watch the tape, they're able to do their job, what I'm gonna ask them to do, what I'm gonna require them to do. You see them do those things in college, so it shouldn't be new. But these guys did a good job of doing their part on the part of a football team, so we're just gonna try to do the same here. Welcome them to the team, let these guys put their hand in the pile and help us win football games.
Byron, you got such depth at wide receiver to have kind of everybody back, and obviously Godwin's still recovering, but then to add Wilson Gage to that. What do you see as the best, I guess, competition or the position you're looking most to see what shakes out in training camp?
Well, wide receiver depth, as you guys noticed, right, we've had to use it since we've been here in 19, right? 19, we end up at week 15, and we have nobody that's started the year off with us, right? But that's how we got to meet Cody, right? That's how Cyril came here. That's where those relationships started, really, that week of week 15, 2019. So we understand that we have depth at certain positions, but we expect to have to use it because that's the way football is. So we just want to get everybody prepared, everybody to be them best selves, understand that they all a little different in what they bring, but we just want them to be who they are and be the best version of that. So that's where we're at right now. I'm not really thinking of it that way. I just want everybody to let's just try to get better players and coaches, and then we'll worry about that once we get to that part.
Byron, is there any changes philosophically with the new head coach, Tom, yourself, in terms of how you will attack? I mean, obviously, the offense is one you called, played for years, all that. But just in terms of the way the game will look, will there be more emphasis on running the ball? Would you consider a smaller slot receiver as opposed to having the big guy always with Godwin and those guys?
Well, I'll consider anybody what we have from a personnel standpoint, to be honest with you. From an offense, I don't see it really being no different. If there was a problem, I mean, we've been in the top 2 or 3 every year. I just seen it right before Tom is thrown for 10,000 yards and 83 touchdowns in the 2 years he's been here. So we just trying to keep getting better.
Broke. I mean, I just don't know if a head coach and his philosophy, you know,
no, I don't think
defense, any of that changes.
I don't think it'd be no different. But how I feel as the head coach, you do what you want. Whatever he say do,
yeah.
We'll try to do it to the best of our ability. But I don't see too many changes coming. Each year is different, though.
Yeah.
Each year is different. We played a little different in 2020 than we played in 2021, just by the way teams played us. So it looked like a whole different team, and we were able to do it in 2 years, two different kind of ways, to really be honest with you. So
yeah.
Will there be some subtle changes? I think it is every year, according to what personnel truly ends up out there each week. But we're going to try to do the best thing to put us in position to score points and win football games. Whatever we can do from an offensive standpoint to help us win, we'll try to do that. Don't really matter to me how we get that done.
Byron, we didn't see a lot of Scotty Miller last season. What does he have to do to be more prominent? Is it something he has to do? Or
I just think Scotty got a bad injury at the wrong part of the year, and it was that injury is tougher than you guys think. And it just was a long time with him not being there, and other guys started stepping up. But Scotty just got to be Scotty. He's made plays since he's been here. He's made Super Bowl year. I just envisioned the plays that he made, not just the Green Bay play. I've envisioned the Minnesota plays, the plays where he jump-started us a lot. And just you watch him on tape, you just try to give him more opportunities, really, more opportunities to be in certain situations to do what he's done since he's really been here.
Coach, you mentioned Cyril before, and he was a player that was really coming into his own towards the end of the season against Carolina and against the Jets as well, too. Where did he take the biggest step in your eyes, and what are your expectations for him this year in training camp, competing for, you know, a top-level spot on the depth chart?
I think his biggest jump was a year ago at this time. I think he started to believe. I think when we first got him, he was really a track guy still. He still saw the game as if he was playing track, and I knew you see his skill set, you like, man, if we can just get him to certain awareness and be able to play, because he's outrunning everybody and he plays the game fast. And you guys saw the development of him and where he's able to go, and I think he's going to get better. I think he's truly confident now. He truly believes that he can get it done. And it's fun for me to see, really, the confidence that he show up in practice with every day. It's like a whole different guy from 3 years ago. He knows he belongs now, and hopefully he carries himself that way and act that way on Sundays.
In the running back room, I mean, Leonard was sort of a bell cow, if you will. He didn't come off the field much. He was 3-down back, could do it in the running game, 1,200 yards, all of that. I don't know if that was, you know, by necessity or lack of confidence in Rojo, but it doesn't matter because he's gone. When you look at the running back room now, would you expect or hope that you would have, you know, more of a balanced type, maybe not have so much on one guy, or, you know, in this league, usually you see multiple running backs. How do you see it shaping up with Rashad, with everybody?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to play it out. What Lenny gives you was why it's tough to get Lenny off the field. He's a 3-down back, and he's a smart guy, and he and Tom can play ball. They can play ball together. When it starts moving on them, as things are changing, things have to happen. Lenny can play ball. Him and Tom can play ball. They've been in these situations. So that's what you see, the connection with them. That's why it's hard to really get him off the field, because what he brings and the connection that him and Tom have, I think, is unique. And so it's not that we're forcing him out there on the field. Yeah. We're just putting him out there because he's the best at what we're trying to ask him to do. Now, how to play out this year, like I tell you, each year, each team is different. We'll see the room. We'll put the room together, and then we'll put everybody in position to have success. So we'll see.
I'm sorry. How do you anticipate how it's going to work now with Bruce? Bruce, you know, he's a consultant. Will he still have some input on the offensive plan? How do you think? How's that going to work?
Probably not from an offensive game plan standpoint. And I don't think that's new. I remember last year you guys talked about red line. That's never happened. I don't know where that came from. That is not what he's ever done. I think the good thing with BA and him knowing me, I would struggle with that. I would struggle myself with that. So, and nobody was telling BA what to call either. So he understands that. And so that type of stuff, it would be the same as 2019. I guess I'm an offensive coordinator with an offensive-minded head coach. So guys think, but it was never nothing even close to that from the time I walked in 2019 with Jameis. It's been me full go. I'm just no risk it, no biscuit too. So it's just, you guys just, same thing, nothing will change. Everything should be status quo.
Byron, we didn't get to see a lot of development from Kyle Trask because most of it took place behind the scenes. Where do you say he's at right now, how he's progressed throughout the year, and obviously with Tom's future uncertainty, can he take that next step?
Well, we like where Kyle's at. We just haven't seen it, right? None of us have seen it. Only thing we got is preseason reps. I think he's gotten drastically better from the last time he stepped on the grass. We just got to see it. And he hasn't had an opportunity to actually be on the grass playing. So it should be a fun summer for him, off season for him, where he's probably going to play a little bit, and we'll get to see him. But I like where he's at. I like where he's at from an awareness, understanding standpoint. Now he just got to touch the grass and have trial and error, really. That's where he's at as a development from the quarterback position.
Is he battling Blaine for that number 2 spot, or is Blaine pretty much locked in as that number 2?
They're just playing. Nobody has spot. We're just practicing, trying to get better right now. We'll play all that out when times come.
I don't know if you had a chance to hear from the news out of New York, but when Tom decides finally that he will no longer play, he will be going to Fox as an analyst. What kinds of things do you see in that room with him as he's breaking down tape? What kinds of things do you see that no one else has ever observed?
Well, I think that's excellent, and it's crazy. When you're 45, you have to think of your next job when you're still playing football, right? You have to do this early, right? But he's a smart. It's the way he sees football. That's what I love. That's what makes our relationship unique. The way he sees football, I love the way that he sees football. Is similar to the way that I saw it. It was taught a little different back in the day. Like I always tell you guys, they wasn't holding up cards and pictures of people telling us what the play was. So you had to learn it a little differently. And me and him have conversations from 92 football, 98, 2003, just football where we were in high school, just talking of things. He's a football junkie, and he has an interesting perspective of the position. And I think it will be great for everyone to hear that, everyone to hear to see how he's wired, the way that he sees football, because we're talking about the best ever, right? The fact that you get the best ever to play the quarterback position, have an opportunity to listen to him talk about football a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now is a great thing.
Yeah, Tom wasn't here
Take a couple more
obviously in
questions,
2020 because you guys didn't have OTAs.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, Bruce said, stay away veterans, we want the OTAs to be for the young guys. Do you anticipate Tom being here for OTAs prior to mandatory minicamp?
I don't need to see him. I really don't. I don't need to see him. I think he's done enough OTAs, really, to be honest with you. And this is what we've done, really, since me and him got together, right? We've really had no summer when it pertains to me and him. But the conversations that we have, the understanding of each other that we have, will be fine if he participates or not.
Bernie, the rookies in this weekend for minicamp. Of the undrafted folks, is there anybody you're looking forward to seeing in particular?
Oh, all of them. All of them. Just Cameron Brake was one of those guys at some point, right? So you never know who's going to be in the crowd. I'm just interested to, as a coach, I love being on the grass, right? Coaching is being in the office every day. I don't really like that part of it. I like when the players are here and we get to go out on the grass. So anytime we get to do that, it's fun.
Speaking of skipping OTAs, have you had any maybe conversations with Gronk to try to see if he wants to lure him back? And if he doesn't come back, how will that change kind of the offense?
I don't want to talk about if he doesn't come back, but everything else, it'll play itself out. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, guys. I got it.